Hello everyone. I just wanted to do this short video in case you are looking for sources for either the Charlemagne outline or if you want to start perusing some of the sources to find an HI topic. There's a couple of upcoming assignments and it might be helpful for you to have access to the online library at BCA. We don't really have a school library that's a physical place, but there is an online center. And I'm just going to highlight two databases today so you can use them for history class. You can certainly explore some more to find some other databases as well. You'll notice that I am at the school's homepage, and normally what would happen if you went to bcts.bergen.org, you get this page. I'm going to go to campuses and go to Bergen County Academies. And as my computer is moving over to Bergen County Academies, I know that I'm going to be looking under students. Under students, there's a variety of different things for students, but online resources is where you'll find our high school, database center. So I click on online resources, okay, and this gets me in to the database center, and you can see that there's some categories for databases. So for example, encyclopedias, dictionaries, or whatever. I'm going to refer to two of these. One is going to be the other databases and one is periodicals and journals. Okay, something to note that's important. The first thing you should do, if you kind of go on down to your page and it says click here to log in and pick up a list of usernames, there is a list of databases that you can access, and each one of them has its own password when you are remote. If you're in the school building and using a school computer, it logs right on to these databases, but at home using your own laptop, you might have to put in a password to let them know that you're part of BCA's community. All of the passwords are at this, kind of click me, and it's a PDF file, so I'm just going to recommend that you save this file. For example, you might see if you wanted to use facts on file, you can see the website, you can also see the username and the password. Okay, we're going to be using two of these, Gail and Jstor. Okay, and I know those passwords, so I don't have to look at the sheet, but I recommend saving the sheet to your desktop. That way, they're always there for you. So I'm going to go back up, and the first database we're going to look at is sponsored by a company that's called Gale. They basically write and include a whole bunch of authored materials on U.S. and world history, and they've compiled it, and we subscribe. We pay to get access to their materials. So if you go to other databases, okay, and there's a listing of a few different databases here. You can see the New York Times, all of the archived articles of the New York Times. It's a paper that starts during the Civil War. There's American history databases. There's facts on file. This is a good place to look. Issues and controversies. If you're interested in finding an HI topic, you're not sure what you want to do. Gale databases, there's a few of them. There's opposing viewpoints, for hot topics today, but there is a World History Resource Center. There's also U.S. in case your HI topic falls into more of a U.S. history category. But because I'm going to use Charlemagne as an example, I'm going to go to the History Resource Center World. Okay, so I click on that. Okay, and I should get prompted to put in a password. Okay, in my computer it goes right in because I've used it already this morning. If I get prompted to put in a password, there's no user ID. The password is hack, HACK 22851. Okay, and that password is also on the document, but the password is hack 22851 all together, and then you would get into the Gale World History Database. If I want to, I can type in Charlemagne. That might be something that I might do. Okay, so just to kind of search a little bit, and I get some sources that are going to be some general sources. I could just read about who's Charlemagne, is king of the Franks, king of the Lombards, and then ultimately the Holy Roman Emperor in 800. He gets crowned by Pope Leo III. Here, there is a description of all of the featured content. There's 35 reference articles, a video, 2 academic journals, a biography, primary sources, so I can start to peruse these. Now I can search within the results, so say that I'm interested in something related to the Saxons, maybe that's something that I can search for, and I can see, does that come up? So here is something from the English Historical Review, Charlemagne, the Saxons, and the Imperial Coronation of 800. Okay, this is something that I might be interested in. If I am, I can just click on it and I get full text of all of the sources that I have here, and I might be able to save this and make it a PDF file. Something else that's nice is if I decide that I'm going to use this source. So I read it and it's really interesting and it's very useful for my outline assignment. When I go to cite it, the citation, it's a long thing, okay, all the way at the end, you can see the citation information. So if I'm interested in the MLA citation, I'm just going to kind of copy this and then paste it to my bibliography. Okay, it is written by Henry Mayer Harding. The name of the source is here, the journal, and then the container. Where did we get the source from? Gale in Context World History with the link and when it was accessed. Okay, so all of that is there for you. Okay, so you can cite this and it becomes useful for you. That is perhaps the most useful database for beginning research because there's a lot. If you look in the reference section, you see a lot of encyclopedia type articles in Gale, but they tend to be articles that are written. So for example, this is the Greenhaven Encyclopedia of the Middle Ages. There are encyclopedias that are kind of dedicated to the topic. Here's one on Catholic history. There's one on the Encyclopedia of the Barbarian World. Okay, if I happen to be really interested in the Germanic peoples, this is a broader source, but it might be something that I'm interested in. If I'm really interested in the Carolingian age, the Middle Ages reference library. Okay, so these sources tend to be descriptive, encyclopedia type sources, but yet they are focused on medieval times and written by oftentimes people with expertise in that area. Okay, and again, they're all searchable and all sources that you can cite and download. Okay. One other database that I'm just going to show you is kind of something to keep in mind. Where Gale is more introductory, more encyclopedia type information, there's another source. Okay, so I'm going to go back to students and to online resources. Another source that we use a lot. It's actually a very challenging database to use. It is something that you would find in a college library. If you go to periodicals and journals, okay, so lots of scholars who are experts on a source. So people who write maybe books about Charlemagne, for example. They've studied, their entire lives, a particular topic, and they're now an expert in that topic. In addition to writing books, they also might publish in scholarly journals, okay, journals dedicated to scholars who write about these topics. So one of the periodicals that we'll look at, a database, it's not a periodical, but it's a database of journals, is Jstor. It is a massive database, and it covers topics not only in history. Okay, there's also a user and a password for this. My computer is going in automatically, but if you look on the sheet, you'll see the username I think is BCTS and the password is student. So once you know that and you click on Jstor, if it prompts you for a password, you're going to put in that information. So having like even a printout at your desk of that that list, or have it somewhere on your desktop that you can find it. But if I went here and I searched for Charlemagne, I might kind of find a whole bunch of materials, and this you can see I have 28,000 search results. So Charlemagne might be too broad. I probably want to search for something more specific, but I might look and kind of just check out. Some of this is in French, but if I'm looking like here's a Charlemagne historical introduction, Here's a journal article, Atrocity or Apology, Charlemagne the Mass Murderer. So, kind of looking at the issue related to the Saxons. How do we kind of contemplate that? I might find something here about the Saxon Wars, kind of getting a sense of the pagan activities that Charlemagne was trying to crack down on. Some of that might be here, okay? And if you're interested in the Saxon Wars, if I decided that I want a particular source, I just download the PDF, okay? I can also just go to the source and just use the source and then not download it. But even if you're deciding, well, I'm going to research a little now, and I'm going to create a folder with some materials in it, and then later on, I'm going to get some more time to look through these sources. You can save these sources, or you can email them to yourselves. This kind of suggests the source is Medieval Warfare. It was published in 2015, and all of the information is here, okay? And it also tells you a little bit about the linked reference, okay? And I think at the bottom of this, they may also be a citation. If not, all of the information is there. And so here's, Charlemagne's Saxon Wars, and it tells you a little bit. And Sidney Dean is the author of this source, and sometimes at the bottom it will tell you a little bit about the author. Okay, so we can kind of see this particular article all about the Saxon Wars. Okay, and if I look here, we get, Sidney Dean, regular contributor. There might be some other information about this person, and we also get further reading. So there's a bibliography here with some additional sources that I might be interested in if I have, a greater interest in this. Okay, so like The Conquest of Saxony, by D. Nicole, okay, and that came out in 2014. So there's a variety of things I might be able to do. I can download this, okay, and then I have this particular Charlemagne, Saxons. I have it on my desktop, okay? So you can search through Jstor. You can search through the Gale databases, and not only for materials related to Charlemagne, you might also be interested in shopping for topics related to the historical investigation. So you might find some time this weekend or into next week to check out some of those databases. And if you need help, just let me know, okay? Have a good rest of the day, everyone.